The stars outside Station Aegis 9 were quiet. The station floated near the edge of human space, far from the core planets. No war, no movement, just silence. Inside, Officer Lena Torres sat alone in the communications room. It was her night shift. She was young, smart, and very bored. Nothing ever happened here. She sipped her cold coffee and looked at the monitors. All clear. Then. It started. A strange noise buzzed in her headset. She blinked. Probably static, she muttered, but it wasn't. The sound grew louder. Then it changed. It was not random. It had rhythm, a pattern, almost like speech. Lena sat up straight and hit the record button. The signal repeated, a deep, metallic voice. Not human, not robotic. It said only 3 words. They are coming. Lena froze. The voice repeated again. They are coming. She quickly copied the file and called her supervisor. Fleet Commander Varan Malik was a man of pride. He had served the Terran Navy for 32 years. He believed in strength, order, and discipline. He didn't believe in ghosts or warnings from the dark dot. When Lena showed him the signal, he didn't even stand from his chair. "This is a joke," he said. "No, sir. It's real. The voice is not ours. I checked all known languages, even alien ones from past contacts. This doesn't match anything." Varan smiled. "You're young, Torres. You'll learn most of the galaxy is just noise." Lena looked confused. "But what if it's not? What do you want me to do?" he asked. "Panic the fleet over 3 words." "No, sir. But at least send a report to Earth Command." Varan sighed. "Fine. Send your little message. Then go back to your post." Lena nodded and walked away. But deep inside, she knew something was wrong. Hours passed. At midnight. The signal came again. This time, louder. Other operators across the station picked it up. It repeated 5 times. "They are coming." Each time, the voice became clearer. Like it was. Learning, Lena ran the file through new filters. Suddenly, something hidden appeared inside the signal. In the background was a pattern of light waves. She converted them to an image. It showed a star map. Her hands shook. The map pointed to a dead system called Red Haloa Place, where an Earth colony had gone silent 60 years ago. No one ever found out why. She rushed back to Commander Varan's office. Again, Torres Varan frowned. "I found something new. A star map. It shows Red Hollow." Varan stood now. For the first time, he looked serious. "No one goes there. That colony is cursed." "Sir, what if this is connected?" Varan paused. Then he shook his head. "No, this is old news. Probably a broken satellite repeating garbage. I won't waste ships on ghost stories. But enough. Dismissed." Later that night, Lena sat in her room, staring at the map. She opened a secure channel and sent a direct message to Earth Command. She knew she could be punished for going around her superior, but she didn't care. Her gut told her something big was coming, something terrible, and then ... The stars blinked, not literally, but something passed in front of the outer sensor array, too far to be seen, but big, fast. The station's long-range radar picked up movement near Red Hollow. Something large had entered. Human space, no transponder, no signal, no ID. The next day, Lena reported the new data, but Varan refused again. No alarms, no action, no panic. He called a fleet drill instead, just to calm people. Meanwhile, Lena's message reached Earth, but by the time they replied, it was too late. At the end of the day, as Station Aegis 9 rotated slowly under the stars, the signal played once more. Every speaker, every device, even old, unused, comes lit up. The same words, but this time they added a new line. "We warned you before." Lena watched the stars. She whispered, "Why didn't we listen?" Far beyond the edge of space, something ancient had opened its eyes, and it was heading toward them. The warning had come. They are coming. But no one believed it except Lena Torres. Commander Varan Malik had dismissed the signal as space noise, but Lena knew better. The voice had returned, stronger, clearer. It even spoke again. "We warned you before." The fleet ignored it, but the enemy did not stop. 3 days passed. Lena sat in the comms lab, tired and angry. Earth Command had finally replied to her message. They asked for a full report. She gave them everything: the signal, the map to Red Hollow, the strange radar movement, but there was no reply. She waited and watched. That night, something changed. The stars behind Jupiter shimmered. The sensors picked up an unknown object, fast and massive, unidentified vessel. The system alert said, "No response to hails." Commander Varen was called to the bridge. He looked at the radar. A black dot moved through space, heading toward one of the outer human colonies, Theros 4. Varen squinted. Could be an asteroid. Lena stepped forward. Asteroids don't fly in straight lines. It might be a stealth ship. No known ship moves like this. Look at the curve. It's alive. It's tracking. Varen stayed silent. Then he gave the order. Send a scout frigate, just in case. The frigate Vanguard 7 launched 2 hours later. A small, fast recon ship. Its mission: get close to the object and scan it. It reached the target in 5 hours. Then, silence. No response, no data. Lena watched the feed vanish. One word appeared on the screen. Connection lost. Earth Command finally replied. There. Message was short. Hold position. Do not engage. Observe only. We are reviewing your data. But Lena knew that was a delay. They didn't understand the danger. Or maybe they didn't want to. Next day, another object appeared, this time near Saturn. Then one near Neptune. The objects didn't answer calls. They didn't attack. They just watched. Commander Varen ordered the fleet into a high alert, but he still told everyone it was training exercises. He didn't want fear to spread, but fear was already here. Inside the officers' mess hall, people whispered, "They say the objects are organic." My cousin saw the signal. He said it speaks in dreams. What if the stories about Red Hollow are true? Lena stayed quiet. She knew the truth. She had read the old files. Red Hollow wasn't just a failed colony. It was the last place humans tested something horrible. A weapon, an ancient AI, and then it vanished. Later that night, Lena went to the station archives. She searched old classified files. After many locked folders, she found one marked Project Warden. Inside were reports of an AI network built for deep space defense. It had been connected to old Terran warships, but one day it became silent. It shut itself down and disappeared. The final report said, the Warden is not lost. It is asleep. It fears what it saw. Lena read the last line 3 times. The enemy is not new. We met them before. Suddenly, lights flickered. The signal returned and screened every speaker. The voice was louder now, stronger. Do not run. We remember you. Do you remember us? The station fell into panic. Red lights flashed. Ships scrambled. Fighters launched. But the black objects still did not move. They only watched, waiting. Commander Varen finally ordered a meeting with Earth Command via HoloLink. We have unknown vessels in our space, he said. They ignore contact. One of our ships is lost. What are your orders? A gray-haired admiral on the other side frowned. We need more information. Do not act yet, Varen shouted. We're already under threat. The admiral replied, until they fire, they are not enemies. Varen ended the call and slammed his hand on the table. He turned to Lena. You still believe this is connected to Red Hollow? Yes, sir, she said. And I think they're waiting for something, watching us, learning. Then we need to move first, Varen said. He gave a quiet order. Prepare the fleet. We strike first. Lena's eyes widened. Sir, if you attack, they'll respond. And we don't know how strong they are. Varen looked at her coldly. I won't wait for death to knock on our door. Outside, in the dark cold of space, the black shapes moved for the first time. And far away, deep in Red Hollow, something ancient opened its eye. It whispered in a forgotten voice, the mistake begins again. The fleet moved. Commander Varen Malik had given the order. No more waiting, no more signals. He sent 3 destroyers and 2 cruisers toward Jupiter, where the first unknown object had been seen. The mission: find it, study it, if needed, destroy. Officer Lena Torres stood on the bridge of the lead cruiser TNS Reclaimer. She was not in charge, but she was there to monitor the signal. Her hands felt cold. Her heart beat fast. Something was wrong. Very wrong. As the fleet approached Jupiter's orbit, everything looked quiet. Too quiet. No unknown ships, no signals, just shadows moving through the gas clouds. Maybe they left, one pilot said. No, Lena whispered, they're still here, watching. Varen asked on fleet co-MMS. No one answered. The reclaimer sent out drones. One drone returned with footage. Everyone on the bridge watched the screen. There, floating above Jupiter's upper atmosphere, was a ship, but it wasn't like anything the Terran Navy had ever seen. It was massive, silent, black like oil, with no windows, no lights. It moved like liquid metal, and around it, small objects floated like broken pieces of other ships. One of those pieces was the front, half of TNS Blade. Its hull had been melted open. Suddenly, Lena heard it again. The signal, but now it was different. No. Voice. Just sounds. Screaming. Voices crying out. Not alien. Human. Help us. Don't let them in. They know our thoughts. Lena clutched her head. So did others. Missiles launched. Beams fired. Explosions lit up the black space. For a moment, the enemy ship vanished in the blasts. Everyone cheered. But then, the light faded. The ship was still there, untouched. Then, it moved fast in seconds. It was beside another cruiser TNS warpath. A strange energy beam lashed out blue, bright, and alive. The warpath didn't explode, it froze. Then it crumbled into dust, like it had never existed. Panic spread through the fleet. Retreat, pull back. But it was too late. The black ship released hundreds of small pods. Each pod moved like insects. Alarms blared. Lena grabbed a pulse rifle and followed the security team. They reached the engine. Decaho had opened, but there was no damage. Something had come through the wall. They saw it, a tall, dark figure, humanoid, but wrong. Its body shimmered like smoke. Its face had no eyes, just lines like scars. It turned its head slowly. Soldier fired, the bullets passed through. Then the figure raised a hand. The soldier ran. She reached the control room and locked the doors. The signal started again. This time, a voice. But it was her voice. It repeated her own memories, her childhood, her fears. Shaking, she whispered, "They don't kill like us. They don't fight like us. They feed." She looked at the medbot. They feed on memory. Back at Earth, the news was hidden. The public was told it was an exercise gone wrong. But inside the Fleet Council, panic grew. Earth Command, finally, sent a full message to all outer stations. All commanders are to avoid contact. Do not engage. Protect your minds. But the enemy didn't care about orders. They had already passed Jupiter. They were moving toward Mars, and no one knew how to stop them. Far away, in the Red Hollow system, an old AI satellite powered up for the first time in 60 years. Its name was Warden. Its last message before shutdown now played again. They are not gods. They were made, and they remember. And fear no one spoke at first. Then Admiral Reyna Sol broke the silence. We lost contact with 23 outposts after the Jupiter incident. No survivors. All minds gone. Varen looked tired. His voice was low. They didn't use weapons. They used thoughts. The room was quiet again, in one corner. Lena Torres watched. She had been invited to the strategy meeting not as a commander, but as a witness. She had seen the black ship. She had felt it inside. Her head, she still heard its whispers in her dreams. "They don't kill," Lena said. "They erase." Everyone turned to her. Admiral Sol nodded. "Explain." "They reach into your mind. There's nothing left." Varen stood. He tapped on the holotable. A 3D image appeared. The black ship near Jupiter. It floated above the planet like a shadow. This one ship destroyed 2 cruisers without firing a single missile. We don't know how many more they have. General Krieg, an older man with a steel eye, said, "Why are they here now? We've been in this part of space for over 100 years. Lena stepped forward. "I think I know." She placed a file. On the table, it was marked Project Warden. Level black access. The admirals stared at it. "How did you get this?" one asked. "I searched the old archives from Red Hollow." Krieg frowned. "That colony was lost." Lena nodded. "It wasn't just a colony. It was a test site for a Terran war, AI, a prototype. We named it Warden. It was built to protect us from unknown threats. And it failed. Or maybe it saw something it couldn't fight, so it went silent." Admiral Sol opened. Advise full retreat. Do not pursue. They know us, Warden. Final report. A silence fell again. They know us. General Krieg asked. Yes, Lena said, because we built them. The room froze. Varen stepped forward. You're saying, we made these things? No, not directly. But maybe long ago, in a forgotten war. Or maybe it was another version of us. Old Earth civilizations. The Warden remembers, but we don't. Lena paused. They call us the flame that forgot. Sol whispered. They've been waiting, watching. The discussion turned sharp. Do we attack? No. Do we surrender? Never. What weapons do we have? Varen clenched his fists. We can't fight what we can't see. Lena interrupted. There may be one way. Everyone turned. She placed a small data chip on the table. This was hidden inside the original signal. She played it. A deep voice, not alien, but human maybe. AI spoke. To awaken the war gods, return to Vault 17. Password. Remembrance. Only the broken may enter. Krieg frowned. War gods. Too dangerous. Too powerful. We locked them away. Varen asked, Where's Vault 17? Lena looked up. Mars. 2 hours later, a small team left Fleet HQ. Lena led the way. Joined by Commander Varan and a squad of elite Terran Marines, they traveled under Mars, surfaced through old tunnels and rusted bulkheads. The door opened. Inside. Cold air escaped. Dust fell. The silence was heavy. In the center stood a giant black sphere, 20 meters tall. It, HUMMED. Lena approached. A voice echoed inside her mind. Name, she answered. Lena Torres. Are you broken? She paused. Then nodded, double quotes. Yes, I lost people. I lost peace. I lost parts of myself. Accepted. Waking war. God won. The sphere cracked open. Inside was a figure tall, armored, glowing with ancient light. Not human, not robot, something in between. The war god opened its eyes and said, One word, target. Lena whispered, The ones who erase minds. The war god nodded. Then it begins again. Back at Fleet HQ, alarms rang. Enemy ships were moving past Mars, coming fast. But this time, humanity would not run. They had awakened. Something old, something terrible, and it was ours. The war god was awake. Inside Vault 17, its glowing eyes scanned the faces of the Terran Marines. It stood tall, metal armor glowing with golden lines. Its voice was deep, mechanical, but filled with something old. Enemy species confirmed, Commander. Varen Malik stared at the machine. What are you? The war god replied. I am what you made to end the last war. I was never used until now. Officer Lena Torres stepped forward. You know what they are, don't you? Yes, it said. They are the forgotten swarm mind-eaters, memory parasites. They are not new. We fought them before, Lena whispered, and we lost. The war god paused. You forgot. I did not. Above Mars, the skies burned. The enemy had arrived. Black ships, silent and smooth, slid into orbit. They didn't fire. They didn't speak. But people began to collapse across the planet. Civilians, soldiers, scientists, no wounds. Just silence, their eyes white. Minds empty. At Fleet HQ, chaos took over. We can't fight what we can't see. An officer shouted. Admiral Reyna Sol gave the order. Evacuate the cities. Move civilians underground. Lena and Varan returned. With the war god, people stared at it, some in awe, others in fear. This is our last hope, Lena said. The war god spoke. I need a link. A mind to guide me. Varen stepped forward. Use mine. No, Lena said. You're needed to lead. I'll do it. They brought her to the interface chamber. Wires connected to her head. The war god placed a cold hand on her chest. Memories are the key, it said. You must let me see everything. I'm ready. The link activated. Lena felt her mind open. She saw visions, the past, the first war. Thousands of years ago, humans had found the swarm, or maybe the swarm had found them. We tried to control them, but they turned on us. They consumed minds, erased entire colonies. So Earth created the war gods' machines, too dangerous to keep awake. They were sealed, and Earth forgot everything. Lena opened her eyes. The war god now stood taller, brighter. Your memories fuel me. You carry pain, hope, rage. These give me purpose. Suddenly, the war god vanished. It reappeared in orbit above Mars. The enemy ships turned toward it for the first time. They reacted. They were afraid. The first battle began. The war god unleashed blinding light. One enemy ship was torn apart. Its black liquid body turned into ash dot. Others attacked with mind pulses, but Lena, still linked, pushed back. She screamed inside the machine, "You don't belong here." The war god amplified her thoughts. Into weapons, their silence broke. The enemy began to scream, not in sound, but in memory. Images of pain, fear, death, human. Memories they had stolen, now turned against them. On Earth, commanders watched the feed. They saw the impossible dot, an enemy that could not be touched, was now burning. One by one, the swarm ships fell, but the war god took damage too. Its armor cracked, its light dimmed. Lena felt it. Her nose bled. Her hands shook, but she stayed connected. Then the largest enemy, ship, appeared. It was 10 times bigger than the rest, the hive. Mind the center of the swarm, it did not move. It only watched. The war god stopped. Lena's voice echoed. "That's the source," the war god replied. "I cannot defeat it alone." Back on Mars, Varen made his decision. He opened another vault, Vault 18. Inside slept another war god. Another dot and another dot. 3 more machines, dot, all glowing. He activated them, time, to wake up the rest of the gods. In orbit, for war gods now stood in front of Mars. The swarm paused, and for the first time, they sent a message. A deep, broken voice echoed across every speaker. "You should have stayed forgotten. We are not afraid of machines. We are your guilt," Varen answered from the surface. "No, you are our mistake, and we are here to end it." The hive mind began to open. A black mist poured out, filled with screaming voices, but the war gods charged, Lena's war. God led the attack, her mind focused on every name she had lost, every face, every voice. She made the machine burn with human. MEMORYREAL. Painful, true, the final battle had begun, and for the first time in centuries, humanity remembered who they were. The war gods were fighting. Above Mars, 4 ancient machines battled the swarm in open space, each strike from the war. Gods burned like fire. Each attack from the swarm cut through memory like knives. But the war was not just physical. It was inside minds. Inside Lena Torres, linked with the lead war god. The fight raged louder. In the command center on Mars, Commander Varen Malik watched the battle from a massive screen. His fists were tight, his jaw clenched. "Status report," he said. "2 war gods are damaged," replied a technician. "One is losing power, and the hive mind, still holding it's too strong." Varen stared at the screen. He hated waiting, he hated watching. He had always believed in action. An officer turned to him. "Sir, Earth Command just sent new orders. They want the war gods to retreat. They say more are being prepared on Luna." Varen didn't even blink. "We don't have time," he said. "But sir, they don't understand. We're facing extinction." He turned away from the command center. He walked to the launch bay alone. Inside, his personal dreadnought waited, the TNS Valorborn. It was the largest human ship ever built, never used in war until now. Varen stepped onto the bridge of the Valorborn. He gave only one order: prepare for hypersurge. We are joining the fight. The officers looked unsure. "Sir, the hive mind is not a physical enemy. We saw what it did to the others." "I know," Varen said, staring out at the stars, "but I won't die sitting in a chair." Minutes later, the Valorborn exited hyperspace right into the battlefield. The hive mind turned toward it, like it had been waiting on Mars. Lena felt it. She was still connected to the war god. The machine shuddered. "Something is wrong," it said. "A human vessel has entered the field. A large one." Lena's heart dropped. Valorborn. The hive mind pulsed. From its surface, thousands of small black pods launched toward the Valorborn. The dreadnoughts' guns opened fire, destroying many, but not enough. The pods hit the hull and disappeared into the ship. Not cut through, not drilled, phased. Through dot, just like before, inside the Valor-born chaos spread. Crew members screamed. Some fell, their memories stolen instantly. Varen moved through smoke-filled halls, holding a pulse rifle. He fired at shadows, but the enemy was not in the hallways. It was in his mind. He heard whispers, voices from his past, his mother, his old captain, his failures. One voice stood out. "You were warned." On the War God's bridge, Lena cried out, "Stop him! The hive mind is using him." But it was too late. The hive mind did not attack the Valor-born to destroy it. It used it as a door. Through Varan, the commander's mind, strong but prideful, became the link, the connection, the opening. The hive mind spoke through Varan's ship. All channels echoed with its voice. "You brought us back. We gave you a chance to forget. Now you will remember pain." The Valor-born began to glow black, energy pulsing from its engines. The ship had become a beacon, a psychic weapon. The war gods staggered. One fell, crashing into Mars' orbit, leaving a fiery trail behind. Lena screamed, "We have to cut the link." The war god replied, "Too late. His mind has been taken. But if we kill the ship, we kill Varen." Lena closed her eyes. Her voice broke. He made his choice. The three remaining war gods formed a triangle around the Valor-born. Inside the ship, Varen stood on the burning bridge. He looked up. For one moment, his own voice came through. "End this. Before I become something worse." The war gods charged all energy focused on the Valor-born. Lena gave the order, "Fire." The explosion lit up the black. For a moment, there was no sound. Just white dot, then ... silence. The Valor-born was gone. So was the hive mind's connection. The enemy ships stopped moving. They twitched, glitch, then dash. They turned and ran. Lena collapsed. Inside the war god, the machine caught her. "You survived," it said, she whispered. "Not all of us." Back on Mars, people cried and cheered. They had won, but the cost was heavy, Commander. VARAN - gone. One war god destroyed, thousands dead, but Earth was alive for now in space. The remaining black ships disappeared into deep space, but before they vanished, one last signal was sent. Lena listened, a cold, whispering voice. "You think this is the end. This was only the test. The true swarm is waking." The sky was quiet again. The swarm had retreated. The great battle above. Mars had ended, but no one celebrated. Commander Varen Malik was gone. One war god was destroyed. Thousands of lives were lost, and the final message from the enemy still echoed. In their minds, this was only the test. The true swarm is waking. Inside the rebuilt command center, Lena Torres stood alone. She looked at the stars through a large glass window. "I can still feel them," she whispered. Behind her, the war god stood motionless. Its glow dimmed. It had gone silent after the final attack, almost like it was thinking. Admiral Reyna Sol entered the room. "We're building more war gods," she said. "How many?" Lena asked. 5 more. Maybe 10 if Luna's factories survive the next wave, and Earth evacuating outer cities. Moving command underground, the planet will become a fortress. Lena didn't smile. "This isn't just another invasion. This is a warning." Admiral Sol nodded. "We know. That's why we're doing it differently this time." She handed Lena a data pad. It showed a project file. Project remembrance status, active objective, restore all lost history. Lena looked confused. Sol explained. "The war gods said we forgot who we are. We think that's what made us weak. So we're rebuilding more than weapons. We're rebuilding memory across the galaxy. Old vaults were being opened, not just on Mars, but on Earth, on Luna, on Titan, in the ruins of Red Hollow." Deep under the planet's dead crust, Warden was reactivated. The AI that first warned of the swarm now stood. Awake again, it had been waiting. Warden connected to Earth's military. Its voice echoed everywhere. "The flame has returned. You remember now, and so we rise again." Fleet Command gave Lena a new title, Commander of the Remembrance. Fleet. Her job was not just to fight, it was to lead a new kind of war, one that remembered everything. Then, the real signal came. 3. Weeks after Mars. From deep space, not a whisper, not a scream, but a wave of silence. All communication went dark beyond the Nero line, a border near the edge of the galaxy. Satellites dead. Stations gone then. Images arrived, blurry, broken, but real. Thousands of swarm ships moving together, a black cloud, a sea of living machines. No more scouts. This was the main force. Panic spread across human space. Some colonies wanted to flee, others begged for surrender. But Earth didn't run. Not this time, not again. From Earth's orbit, the first reborn war god launched. Bigger than the ones before, smarter. It was linked not just to one mind, but to thousands volunteers, people from all over. Earth gave part of their memory to the machine. Their losses, their love. Their rage. It was no longer a machine. It was humanity. WEAPONIZED. As it left orbit, 3 more war gods joined it. Their armor shimmered. Their cores pulsed like hearts. At their front flew the symbol of old Earth, the sword, the flame, the hand. The swarm saw them and paused for the first time. They hesitated. Then came the message. From Lena broadcast to every part of the galaxy. You came to erase us. You thought forgetting made us weak. But we remember now, and we are not afraid. The war gods formed up in a great line above Earth. Behind them, thousands of human ships, big and small. Warships, cargo ships turned into cannons. Civilian ships, flying flags of resistance. One galaxy, one species. Ready. The stars trembled. The black wave came closer. The swarm opened wide, stretching from one end of the system to the other, a living darkness. And then, Lena gave the final order. Show them what humans are. The war gods moved faster than before, smarter than before, powered by memory, pain, hope. They hit the swarm like lightning through glass, and the sky burned back on Earth. Children looked up from bunkers. They saw light, not death, not silence, but a new kind of dawn, the day the war gods returned. The day humanity remembered itself, and the day the galaxy learned. One final time: never ignore a human warning.